Welcome back, everyone. Following their elimination from the playoffs, the Milwaukee Bucks have now entered the offseason, and it probably happened a lot sooner than they thought it would. But with that being a reality for them, they will now have to figure out what to do with their team moving forward, and a big part of that will come in the form of free agency. Not only in regard to adding a few new players though, but with their ability to retain a few of their own free agents too, which will undoubtedly be a priority for them. Even though they were not able to defend their title in the way they would have liked by once again reaching the NBA Finals, I don't think there is a major cause for concern here, because had they been fully healthy, they very likely would still be playing right now, and with all of that in mind, I don't think they need to make a ton of changes. However, that does not mean they won't be making any at all, and some of that will be completely out of their control. And what I mean by that is in regard to their financial situation. They are already over the salary cap and will not have much money to spend during free agency. Other than the taxpayer mid-level exception, which is worth a little over $6 million, all they will have to work with are veteran minimum contracts, along with using the bird rights they own from their current players. So to help give you an idea of who might be worth going after for them, in today's video, we're going to review the top 5 free agents that I believe they should target. And to avoid having half the list be their own free agents, I'm only going to be including free agents that are not from their team. In addition to that criterion, we're going to be prioritizing their biggest needs, which in my opinion are number 1, a bigger 3-and-D wing, number 2, a potential backup plan to Bobby Portis, and number 3, a better backup point guard. But without further ado, let's dive into it. And coming in at number 5, we have Taurean Prince. Coming off of making nearly $15 million per year with his prior contract, Prince cannot hope to get that same kind of money. Although, that is not to say that he is a bad player. In fact, he might be exactly what the Bucks are looking for. He could provide them with the bigger 3-and-D wing that they are looking for, along with being a partial backup plan to Bobby Portis all in one. No, he may not have the size that Bobby Portis does, but what I am referring to here is with him being able to play at power forward in their small ball lineup. It would not be an identical replacement by any means, but it would help provide them with some power forward depth, and like I referred to before, it would also give them a bigger 3-and-D wing. Now, Taurean Prince may not be a lockdown defender, but his 6'8" frame allows him to match up with a variety of different positions, and right now, they don't really have a small forward who can do that other than Chris Middleton. But now moving on to free agent number 4, and here we have DeLon Wright. A guy who is currently flying under the radar, DeLon Wright could potentially be a great option for Milwaukee. He would be an immediate upgrade at backup point guard for them, and could even play alongside Jrue Holiday as well, which would create a deadly defensive backcourt. In fact, I currently have Milwaukee as the ideal landing spot for DeLon Wright, because in my opinion, it's hard to imagine a better fitting team for him. He could potentially do wonders for a defensive-minded team like Milwaukee that values high IQ defenders and ones that are very versatile. Because other than Jrue Holiday, there are not many combo guards who fit that narrative better than DeLon Wright. He is a great defender, he can play at multiple positions, and he is able to play on or off the ball on offense. In my opinion, he would be a huge upgrade over George Hill, and the best part about him is that he could very likely be had for relatively cheap. Probably not for a minimum contract, but their taxpayer mid-level exception would be more than enough to get him. Now moving on to free agent number 3 though, and here we have Chris Boucher, who in my mind would be the ideal backup plan to Bobby Portis. Now, I'm not entirely sure that they would have enough to afford Boucher either, but he would definitely cost them less compared to Bobby Portis. They can offer Bobby Portis a little over $10 million per year with his early bird rights, which he would definitely take all up to retain him, but they could potentially get Boucher for their taxpayer mid-level, worth only $6.3 million. Again, I'm not sure that would be enough to acquire him, but I really do like the potential fit here. He is fairly similar to Portis, as they're both power forwards who rebound and shoot the ball well, but they're also a bit different. Whereas Bobby Portis can be a bit more offensive orientated, Boucher is more defensive minded, which could potentially help cover up a few of the problems that they had with Portis on defense. No, he may not be able to consistently create his own offense like Bobby can, but he can definitely be a better small ball lineup defender, and he would theoretically fit great on the court with Giannis. But now moving on to number 2, and here we have Gary Harris. And although he does not really fit the narrative of a bigger 3-and-D wing, a backup plan to Bobby Portis, nor a backup point guard option, he is simply too good to completely overlook here. If Gary Harris puts a priority on winning when choosing where to go in free agency, there will be few options better than Milwaukee. They can offer him a decent contract at $6.3 million and a large role either in their starting lineup or as their number 1 guy off the bench. And in a way, he could kind of be their backup point guard. No, he may not really be a playmaker, but he can be a backup ball handler and one who you can run a play through here and there. But the real reason for targeting him would undoubtedly have to be from his defense, which in my opinion would make him a great fit for their team. The 3-and-D nature of his game would make him a great fit with Giannis, Middleton, and Jrue Holiday, and he could add to their already great 5-man lineup. Again, he might be a bit out of their price range if he is not simply looking to join a contender, but in my opinion, they should at least offer him a contract. Now moving on to our number 1 free agent target though, and like many other contending teams, that player happens to be Otto Porter. One of the premier 3-and-D players on the market, Otto Porter will be a hot commodity among contenders. He took a big time pay cut to join the Warriors, but he will surely be getting a big pay increase this time around. Although, due to him having a few lingering injury concerns, along with not being a fit for a rebuilding team, that could limit the amount of offers he gets during free agency. And because of that, a form of the mid-level exception will likely be the most he can get. Now, I'm not quite sure the taxpayer mid-level will be enough to get him, but in my opinion, Milwaukee should definitely offer it to him. Whether or not they lose Bobby Portis, Otto Porter would be a great player to add to their rotation. A tall 3-and-D wing who can play at either forward position, he would be a huge upgrade for them, and in my opinion, should be their number 1 target in free agency. But with all of that being said, that will conclude my top 5 free agent targets for the Milwaukee Bucks. But what do you guys think? Which of them would you like to see them go after? Let me know your thoughts by commenting down below and we can talk about it there. But before you go, I would like to invite you to join the official Discord for the channel. If you like having NBA debates and discussion with others in real time, being updated on NBA news, or even being able to chat with me, then you really should think about joining. That will do it for this video though. Big thank you to those of you who took the time to watch until the end of this video, and until the end of all of my videos in general. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and turn on notifications to get notified right away when I drop a new video. But as always, thank you for watching and have a great day.